How did they carry those massive 2.5 tons bricks without any transportation? How did they build the pyramid so precisely with its sides oriented to the 4 cardinal points with an accuracy of up to 0.05 degrees without the help of any kind of advanced technologies? Is there any kind of involvement of outer world energies? Or maybe the ancient Egyptians had access to any kind of energy resource about which we still do not know. And what about the recent discoveries in the pyramids of Giza? Well, with all these questions in mind, let's dive in together and uncover the pyramids' hidden secrets. Among the many pyramids present in Egypt, the most famous pyramids are those found at Giza, on the outskirts of modern-day Cairo. The pyramids were built during the Old Kingdom period, specifically during the reigns of pharaohs Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. These pyramids were constructed as tombs for these pharaohs who were believed to become gods in the afterlife. The pyramids showcase ancient Egyptian architectural skills with precise calculations and massive stone blocks. The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as Khufu's Pyramid, whose ancient name was Akhet Khufu, is believed to have been built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, who ruled during the Old Kingdom period. This pyramid is the largest among the three, standing at 481 feet, that is 147 meters tall. Hemiunu, Khufu's vizier, is believed by some to be the architect of the Great Pyramid, and it took 26 years to build and was completed in 2600 BC. Besides, the Great Pyramid has several internal chambers, including the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and the Grand Gallery. Khufu's pyramid is considered an architectural marvel, showcasing ancient Egyptian skills in engineering and construction. Pyramid of Khafre, also known as Pyramid of Chephren, whose ancient name was War Khafre. It is the second largest pyramid of the group and was built for Pharaoh Khafre. This pyramid stands at 448 feet, that is 136.4 meters tall, with a base length of 215.5 meters. This pyramid has many internal chambers. The prominent among them are the burial chamber, Khafre's sarcophagus, and the subsidiary chamber. Fun fact: this pyramid was first explored by Giovanni Belzoni in 1818, who found an empty burial chamber with an open sarcophagus. Pyramid of Khafre till today retains some of its original casing stones at the apex, made of pink granite and Turaline stone. Pyramid of Menkaure, also known as the Pyramid of Mykerinos, whose ancient name was Netejeri Menkaure. This is the smallest among the three pyramids present on the Giza plateau and was built for Pharaoh Menkaure. This pyramid stands at 215 feet, that is 65.5 meters tall, with a base length of 335 feet, that is 102.2 meters. Fun fact: Pyramid of Menkaure was left unfinished at the time of Menkaure's death, with some of the casing stones still in place. This pyramid has undergone several restoration projects, including a major restoration in the 20th century. The construction of the pyramids is a remarkable achievement that has fascinated people for centuries. The site for the pyramid was carefully chosen, taking into account the terrain, accessibility, and astronomical alignments. The ancient Egyptians used mathematical calculations to ensure the pyramid's base was a perfect square and its sides were aligned with the four cardinal directions. Now, the pyramids were built using limestone and granite blocks, some weighing as much as 2.5 tons. The ancient Egyptians used copper tools such as chisels, hammers, and saws to quarry and shape the stone blocks. But the question is, how the hell they carried those massive blocks? And how the hell were they so precise with the construction of the pyramids? So let's now find the answer to these questions. If we go as per general history and textbooks, it is said that the workers used rams and pulley systems to carry and place those massive stone blocks. But take a look at these videos. Isn't it absurd that stones weighing just like the pyramid stones can easily turn over a truck were moved only using rams and pulleys? Strange. Some suggest that the ancient giants carried those heavy stones, and others think that outer celestial beings were involved in building the pyramid. But that is not quite the case. What if I now say that the purpose of the pyramids were not just to serve as the tombs of the pharaohs, but something more than that? How you all will react, huh? So with this, let me now present to you guys the most powerful and the most scientific theory about the pyramids, that is, the power plant theory. This is what an actual Egyptian tomb looks like. Dark, enclosed, and filled with hieroglyphs, while this is the Great Pyramid of Giza. And if you look closer, you will realize the pyramid was definitely not built to serve just as a tomb. You may ask why, but the materials used to build the pyramid are exactly the same that we use today to create electricity. Wait, what? Definitely you did not quite understand this, so let's break it down. If you look at ancient Egyptian photos, you will notice that the pyramids were once covered in bright white casing stones, polished to perfection and virtually airtight. And these stones were made of limestone from Tura, a quarry which is 500 miles away from the pyramids. And my common sense tells me they won't drag these stones the length of Florida just to make the pyramids look nice and shiny, right? You see, this special limestones from Tura has less magnesium than a regular limestone, which makes it an ideal insulator of electricity. Not only that, it also reflects sunlight, keeping the inside cool. It may be a coincidence, but let's keep going. The interior chambers of the pyramid were built with rose granite, which contains 85% quartz. Now, quartz is piezoelectric, which means it generates small electric charge when moved or squeezed. And interestingly, this is the same quartz we use to power watch batteries and barbecue lighters. But wait, that's not all. Granite also ionizes the air inside the chambers, which further increases the conductivity. And you know, the granite was sourced from Aswan, another quarry which is again located hundreds of miles away from the pyramids. But the weird part is, these granite slabs inside the Pyramid of Giza have these strange structural designs which do not look from anywhere decorative. In fact, they are incredibly difficult to make. Look, I don't know why would someone make these roof structures with these massive stone blocks from hundreds of miles away. when you cannot even see it from inside the chambers? Some historians claim these were the relieving chambers meant to prevent a room from collapsing under the weight of the pyramid. But here's the kicker. The chambers below had no such relief. On the other hand, if you were somehow able to apply pressure to these chambers, you will get an electric charge from the quartz. I mean, a lot of it. But you know, electricity cannot exist on its own. To utilize it, you need to direct it through something. So this is where copper enters, a common metal used in wires to conduct electricity. And surprisingly, just a few years ago, a remote camera inside the pyramid's narrow shafts revealed two copper handles embedded into the stone at the end of the shaft, and this is the only metal ever confirmed in Giza. However, these shafts have no confirmed purpose. Some calls them air vents, but some of these shafts don't even lead to the outside. So we have all sorts of information related to this theory. But let's dig further. The aerospace engineer Christopher Dunn popularized this theory. Not only that, he used hard science to prove this, and according to him, the pyramid is a coupled oscillator, a device connected to a larger vibrating body like the Earth, to transfer energy between them. The Earth vibrates, producing frequencies through seismic activity, Schumann resonances in its electromagnetic fields, and even the water underground. It is said that the pyramid was built directly above underground aquifers. Wait. Don't get angry. I know what you all are thinking. Don't worry, I will get to that. So now, if you again look at ancient Egyptian pictures, you will see the Nile flowing right beside the pyramids. And if you see, the pieces are fitting. The process starts in the subterranean chamber where flowing water from Nile and seismic activity create vibrational waves. These waves resonate throughout the pyramid, maximizing its center of mass. And guess where Giza sits? Coincidentally at the center of the world's landmass. But hear more. Traces of zinc and hydrochloric acid were found in the shafts leading into the Queen's chamber. According to Dunn, these chemicals were poured down the shafts and mixed in the chamber, triggering a chemical reaction that releases hydrogen gas. This gas travels from the Queen's chamber through the Grand Gallery into the King's chamber, compressing the granite quartz and creating piezoelectricity. Then vibrations from below would trigger resonators in the Grand Gallery, likely 27 acoustic devices placed in the empty slots found there. The compressed quartz would create a spark, energizing the hydrogen atoms into a microwave energy beam. Now this beam would travel through a 4.8 by 8.4 inch watertight shaft, which is a convenient size for hydrogen microwave wavelengths and the exact dimensions of what we call a waveguide today. Also, we must remember that granite is harder than steel, and cutting a shaft like this with ancient technology seems quite impossible. But these microwaves would resonate in the King's chamber tuned to a specific frequency using those layers of stones in the roof. So the same ones historians call relieving chambers, the sarcophagus in this room may have acted as a high voltage source, just like the Baghdad battery, further ionizing the hydrogen and making the room superconductive. And lastly, the gold capped tips of the pyramids, which are perfect conductors that attract electricity and send it into the atmosphere. Oof, I am only exhausted telling you guys so much information. Now it's up to you whether you will believe this theory or not. I am not forcing you to believe this. I just found it while researching. So let's not stop here, and together let's explore the 21st century discovery. In the month of March 2025, a group of researchers made a surprising discovery. I'm gonna show you guys two articles. Pause the video and go through it. Now these structures discovered are 650 meter deep, that is 2100 feet long. For reference, the Eiffel Tower is 312 meter long, that is almost twice the height of the Eiffel Tower. Quite deep, right? Now, the question is, does the presence of this structure signify that there is a whole city present underground? Who knows? And if yes, then the power plant we learned earlier
Was it used to provide electricity to this underground city? But I don't think so, because if you compare this discovery with the earlier theory, then many things are contradicting, like presence of these structures means there were no aquifers present below the pyramid. But then we got so many scientific evidences to support that theory. Even after that, let's say for a second I'm considering this underground city thing to be true, then who lived there? People of this planet? Or who knows? Look guys, we have got pyramid as a tomb, pyramid as the power plant, and pyramid as an entrance to an underground city. See, we are getting the pieces, but we still do not know how to place them properly, which make these gigantic structures more mysterious. All we can do now is wait and let time reveal to us the real purpose of the pyramids. If you guys ask me the real purpose for building the pyramid, then I do not know. But one thing I know for sure is that the pyramids were built with the intention to last for eternity, and so they did. Built 4500 years ago, they are one of the greatest mysteries of not only ancient Egypt, but also of the whole world. So it's now time for me to wrap up this video. Hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more videos of this types, then tell me in the comment section. So I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, stay safe and goodbye. Without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a